For their 30th anniversary, Dark Funeral played their first EP completely, which reminded me it's overdue to go through their discography. Although Dark Funeral were constantly active for such a long time, they produced only 7 full-length studio albums. I saw Dark Funeral on the first gig of their 2025 tour and brought a video snippet home. This is Melanie. She's going to do the album cover presentation today. I met her the other day at the Dark Funeral show, and I liked her face paint so much that I asked her to come around.
Yeah, I've seen Dark Funeral many times live. A few years ago, I've seen them the first time at a festival, and they catched me from the first minute. And their energy live is so overwhelming. I really love this band.
There had been a long break since the previous studio album, filled by De Profundis Clamavier Te Domine, one of the best black metal live albums ever. Insofar, I was not overwhelmed by Atera Totus Sanctus. Mind you, none of the albums of the band is actually flawed. I didn't regret buying any of them. But the first 3 studio albums had shown a constant development. Now this was the first time a step back rather than progress. It was a good, aggressive album, though. My favorite songs are Atrium Regina and Angel Flesh Impaled. The last album with Emperor Magus Caligula on vocals was mostly a typical blast speed attack without much standing out. You get what you expect. I like Stigmata best, with its sinister opening and sarcastic lyrics. If this is a gift from God, I give my soul to hell, and so on. In My Dreams sucks you in with that morbid guitar sound. Declaration of Hate impresses with its aggression. After their longest break ever between 2 studio albums, Dark Funeral returned with a new vocalist. I don't have a clear preference when it comes to singers. Caligula sounded furious, Helge Madre a bit more refined. He's the more technical guy, you could say, but he absolutely does justice to the old songs, as I witnessed live on their latest tour. The guitar arrangements are impressive and blend in well with the vocals, for example, in Temple of Ahriman or The Eternal Eclipse with its haunting melodies. Also, the lyrics became more fluent than in the old days, which is possibly a result of touring abroad a lot over the years, while the message is still the same. In February 1997, I saw Dark Funeral live for the first time. It was their second European tour. They were in a package with Ancient and Bald Sagoth. I must admit I went there that night mainly to see the bizarre Bald Sagoth, who didn't compare to any other bands at the time. But Dark Funeral impressed me right away with songs like Open the Gates. I bought their 4-song EP and then the first album. In a time, second half of the 90s, when a lot of new energy was fueling the genre with Emperor, Dissection, Immortal, Satyricon and so on, Secrets of the Black Arts was strong, but not exceeding the albums of the aforementioned. The best of Dark Funeral was yet to come. As Lord Ahriman explained in A Blaze magazine, the recording had to be done twice. The first attempt, January 95, in Unisound Studio, sounded so poor that Dark Funeral decided to record the whole album again 5 months later at the Abyss Studio. Both renditions are available today on CD. The new album, We Are the Apocalypse, is a very solid professional offering. Some fans of early raw black metal may consider it a little commercial, but I can live with it. Especially the video singles Nightfall and Let the Devil In still have a lot of impact, while the band's experience shows. Lord Ahriman had the whole rest of the band replaced since the first album, and so far it's remarkable how the second LP continues with top marks. In an interview with Nordic Vision magazine, Lord Ahriman described the album as more technical, with better arrangements, the songs being more thought through. The personal changes, especially with new singer Caligula and the new drummer Alsasmon, contributed a lot to make the band grow, he said. The reviewer in Deftone magazine wrote that the strength of Vobiscum Satanas is that despite the insane speed, Dark Funeral still managed to create recognizable melodies. You might be thinking of The Black-Winged Horde or Thy Legions Come, for example, which are incredibly fast while still maintaining that morbid melancholy in the guitars. The third album, Diabolis Interium, sounds more powerful than the earlier works, while being more aggressive than the recent albums. If you want your black metal accessible, you might prefer We Are the Apocalypse, and if you are more the underground type of worshipper, you will praise Secrets of the Black Arts higher. But in my opinion, Diabolis Interium is the perfect middle way between black metal attitude and improving production skills, and thus a kind of peak within the band's output. In another interview with the Blaze magazine, Lord Ahriman couldn't really give a reason why the band chose titles in Latin for their albums like Vobiscum Satanas and now Diabolis Interium, and vaguely replied they just came up. My personal guess is that it adds another touch of mystery. It would become a trademark for 2 more studio albums before he decided enough is enough. Unfortunately, the tour for this album was partly cancelled. I had intended to see 2 shows at Offenbach and Hamburg, but they didn't happen. I did an interview with Lord Ahriman in 2002 to find out more about this. He told me a pretty wild story about buses breaking down, support bands dropping out, tour managers stealing the band's money, a record company stopping their support, and so on. It's definitely not easy to play a long European tour, and the band lost money on this one instead of making some. Therefore, this feature was made to honor Dark Funeral's dedication for keeping the band going over 30 years despite these obstacles. Thank you for watching.